Jim and Merrily, bright, and I love it. I always think about your name. I just love it so much
Thank you.
because it's Merrily, and then your second name is Ray and bright. It's
That's
like
right.
this ray of sunlight.
Yes.
We met you guys 2 months ago. Seems like I've known you a lifetime.
Yes.
And you're coming to me now, and you just got such an amazing story to tell us that I just think you'd share it with everybody and how you got going on this and how you've benefited. Just tell us everything. How you benefited, how you feel, why you on the natural way.
Well, Jim and I we've tried a lot of different eating programs, and we've tried Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig and fasting. We've just tried a lot of different diets, I guess you'd call them, and really found out that they didn't work. We
Yeah.
found out that on Weight Watchers, we were just so obsessed about food.
So you were doing it mainly for weight, or?
We were doing it for weight,
Yeah.
and just had an obsession with food. And Weight Watchers even made the obsession worse because we were counting points all day and thinking about food all day. And so we just got so disgusted with ourselves that about 8 months ago, we just decided to pray every day. And so we would seriously pray and just really cry out to God and say, God, help us with our food addictions, whatever our problem is, that we just couldn't get a handle on eating right. And we just, for about 3 months, we did that for about 3 months of just praying and asking God to help us. And then one day, our friend Autumn came by and gave me Mary Ann's book. And she had talked to me quite a bit about it, and so I'd heard what she was saying, but until I read the book, I really didn't understand the program, your book.
Yeah.
And when we read it, we just got really excited, and we were...
No, you got it really quick. I was gonna, I don't know about all this stuff here. And so she's really a person who has been nutrition all the time, and I'm out of that kind of stuff, but now I'm into it. So
Well, the reason why he's
Amazing.
into it is because he's lost 20 pounds in the last 5 months since we read Mary Ann's book, and we're feeling better, and we've gone off of all of our medications.
What were you on? Now, I didn't tell you to go off the medication.
No.
You went off it because you got well.
all cholesterol, all
High blood pressure.
yeah.
High blood
Have
pressure.
you tested your blood pressure to see what it's like?
Yeah, it's down.
Yeah.
He's doing
that's
great.
awesome.
Yeah, his blood pressure's down, his cholesterol's
Yeah,
down.
the other thing, I have a problem with cramps in my legs,
Yeah.
and so I stopped using calcium at all. No calcium, no anything else. Just
Yeah.
And the calcium didn't work anyway.
Yeah.
And now his leg cramps are gone.
Oh, wow.
And we attribute that to our diet and barley
Yeah.
life, that,
Yeah.
the two combination works so well. But I went off my hormones and just decided we were going to try it the natural way. And
And
so...
you're amazing because, people half your age are so nervous about stopping their medication. You're like Daniel, you just resolved. This is it. We were going to do it, and you did it.
Well, the interesting thing that I think is so great is that I've been talking a lot to my friends about this. And I have one friend that I've talked to about just about every diet I've been on, and she always just told me to be quiet and didn't want to hear about diets. And somehow she got a hold of this book, your book, through a friend of mine, her sister, and she read it. And the other day I called and was talking to her on the phone, and she was so excited about your program. And I said, Barb, what is it about this program that is working so well? And she said, it's the Holy Spirit. She thinks it's just God inspired.
Oh, wow.
And I said, that's it. That is the difference. It's just inspired. It's such a simple program. It's such a great way of eating. And what I really love is that it's not so radical in the beginning, but becomes more radical as you get into it. And so the way you've presented it to us is, nothing has to be done overnight. and give yourself time and just start changing slowly. And that, I think, is one of the most encouraging things for us is.
Well, the incredible thing is I have so much energy that I haven't had in a long time. I can go to the gym and come back and I don't take a nap, you know, I mean, all day
Yeah.
long.
Wow.
Well, that's the other thing. We were sleeping our afternoons away, and we're too young. I mean, I know we're not that young, but we just decided we were too young to be sleeping every afternoon, and it was just really driving us nuts that we just couldn't stay awake past 2 in the afternoon. And so
I know the feeling because I was married to a man that used to sleep and he was only 30 when he was doing that.
yeah, I mean,
Oh,
we
sleeper man, it says
we
in the
just-
Bible.
Yeah, we just knew
Repent.
we needed more energy.
Yeah.
And we were really ready, so fed up with not having energy,
Yeah.
and then also this obsessive thinking about food that it was just guidance that this came into our life when it did. And then, so we got the book 5 months ago, and then I just met you 2 months ago, which just kick-started the whole thing, you know, and really
Yeah.
accelerated where we were going with this. And after meeting you and talking with you and hearing you speak, it's just so absolutely exciting to just know that we're not going to have to worry about it anymore, that it's not going to be a diet, that we're going to go on and off. This really is a way of life. And that's the most exciting thing, too, because, you know, people can say all the time, oh, this isn't a diet, this is a way of life. And you hear Weight Watchers say that, and you hear Jenny, you know, you hear all these people say, this is a way of life. But it's not a way of life. I mean, myself, Jim, all our friends, we would go on these things, and, you know, within a month or two, we were just right back to the regular eating. And
10
so
years of,
we've been on to this now for 5 months, and we're just getting better and better. We're not going back.
Yeah.
We just know that this is what we need. Maybe part of it is our age, because I had a lot of, we would get up off the couch and we could barely wobble into the bedroom because our bones ached.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah,
thought,
that's the other
oh
thing.
my gosh,
Oh, really?
do we
bones
have
don't hurt.
arthritis?
Your bones don't hurt.
No,
That's amazing.
nothing aches anymore. I mean,
That is
we feel
awesome.
like 20 years younger, seriously. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
20 years ago, I did I lost 50 pounds with what is it?
Jenny Craig.
Yeah. And it was like, I think probably 4 years after that, I'm back up to 225, 250, 260, you know, whatever it is. And this is so natural, you know.
Yeah.
And you can eat as much as you
I
like.
figure I'll
Yes.
use more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be a skinny man.
Yeah, and we're continuing to go down, you
Yeah.
know, but we're not obsessing about it
No.
anymore. And that's the other wonderful thing, is that we're not obsessed with weight anymore.
No.
We, you know, lose a pound here, a pound there, it doesn't matter. What we're really concerned about is getting healthy.
Yeah.
And that's what's exciting. When your joints hurt and you're having hot flashes and
I don't get
leg
that, so.
cramps and, yeah, you know.
get the hot flushes.
Yeah, he just gets the leg cramps, but we've had our fill of them, and we really considered ourselves pretty healthy. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, when
Yeah, most people do. Well, I'm over 50 and I'm on cholesterol medication, so what's wrong with that? Everybody is, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just been wonderful, just incredible. We're so excited, and we're enjoying the Barley Life, the AIM products, the Barley Life.
Which of the products are you using?
Well, we start our morning out with taking the the barley, carrot, and beets.
Okay.
And then we do our, take our flaxseed oil, which is the Omega,
Yeah.
and we just love that. And then the fiber blend.
Okay.
We don't do the fiber blend every day, maybe we should, but
Yeah.
we're so, I mean, that's the other thing. Can I talk about constipation?
Yes, do. People are so embarrassed about it, but they all want to know. It's like I go to a talk and then they all come
BMs.
afterwards and say,
Well, my pattern was every 3 days to go to the bathroom. And so I have diverticulitis, and I'd have flare-ups of it, and I knew that if I didn't get regular, this would be a problem. And so I've done, you know, a lot of different things, and no products worked. like that fiber blend is incredible because it doesn't have senna in it, so it's
Yeah.
not addicting.
No.
You can take it every day. But even not taking that, just from changing our diet, every morning, most evenings, I mean, I'm just regular
Yeah.
now, and it's the first time in my
And it's
life.
so comfortable as well.
Yeah.
It's like,
And then after you drink your drink and then you go to the bathroom and you just sit here and you just feel like you have so much energy. It's incredible.
all the rubbish is gone.
Yeah. You're just ready to just go take the world,
that's
you know? I mean,
awesome.
it's just unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, just in the time that I've known you guys, I've seen a change. Just see
Really?
You've lost more
In the
weight, your
last
skin
2
has
months.
improved.
Yeah,
the
our
colour.
skin,
Yeah.
that's the
I've
other
seen a big
thing.
change in your skin in the 2 months you've been here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My kids used to call me lizard legs because my legs look like lizards without cream on them. And now I don't even put cream on them, and they, you know,
Show
the
me your
oils
legs,
are
honey.
coming out now. Yeah. See my legs?
See my foot?
No, the oils are coming out in our skin. My skin feels better. It's amazing.
Oh, it's just so awesome.
And you know, my background is I never liked fruit in the morning, and now I just love fruit. I mean, it's really weird. I always would have some kind of sandwich.
Yeah.
all my
Well,
life.
Jim would wake up and start eating at 6 in the morning, and that used to drive me nuts because I think, why in the world is he eating so
So
early?
early.
Because then he's going to be hungry by 10, you
Yeah.
know, and he's going to need another meal by noon and 2. And no, but to just be able to eat fruit, and now we just don't even have our smoothies till 9 or so, and we're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually amazing, hey?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a
Feel
big change
obsessed.
for me. Real
Yeah.
big change.
Yeah.
And I'm usually a big eater of meat, you know. And I've blown it a few times in like since New Year's.
Well, don't say blown because you're allowed to eat meat on this if you want to.
Well, you know, the thing is that I find that it bogs
Bogs you down.
Yeah, I'm all day you're feeling like, oh man.
Like a,
Yeah, and like you say, that's the greatest thing is that we're allowed
Yeah.
to eat it if we want, but the better we eat, the more fruits and vegetables we eat, the less we desire meat
yeah.
and proteins. And I have a diagnosis of osteoporosis as well,
Yes.
so that has really gotten my attention with the alkaline acidity factor. And now I'm thinking all day long alkaline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and that's very helpful.
Yeah.
Because my son, who's 30, is diagnosed with osteoporosis. My mother died of osteoporosis from back fractures.
Oh.
And she just kept fracturing her back every 6 months.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go there.
No.
So I read quite a bit on osteoporosis, but nothing made sense. Taking all the calcium, and when I heard you speak, it just, all the lights went on, and I just thought, that is it.
You should
It makes so much sense.
you know, your feet too.
Oh, yeah. I had chronic plantar fasciitis. Now, I don't understand how your diet and barley life can help that, but seriously, for 5 years I had plantar fasciitis with bone spurs in my heels. And I really,
So were you
I'd
in
gone to
pain?
doctor, I was in constant pain. I couldn't walk anymore. And
You
I
used to
I
play
was
tennis with
very
me. She couldn't
athletic,
play for
played
5 years.
tennis. I haven't played tennis for 5 years because of my plantar fasciitis. In the last 2 months, it's almost gone. It's been slowly disappearing. And I've spent thousands of dollars on orthotics. I've gone to every doctor, and they just said, you know, there's just nothing else we can do. And now, through just changing my diet, my plantar fasciitis is gone. My bone spurs on my heel are dissolving. There were big lumps on my heels, and
Yeah.
they're gone.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
That's bizarre.
Well, it's not really, because when you start treating your body the way God intended it to be fed and treated, it just starts to repair itself.
Yeah, for the first time when we went to Portland to see
Yeah.
my granddaughter, my
Yeah.
new baby, we walked probably maybe 4 miles.
Yeah,
something like
I'm
that.
walking every day now. And I knew there was something wrong, that the calcium was being leached out of my bones. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Because I also had a frozen shoulder for a year, and that was so painful.
Yeah.
So I knew that calcium deposits were depositing onto my joints, in my feet, my shoulder, and the physical therapist told me, she said, everybody that has frozen shoulder will have it again in 10 years, in the other arm.
Oh,
And I thought, not me. I'm going to figure out how to deal with this. Well, now that I know about dairy products and, that putting all that protein in your body is actually depleting the calcium from the bones, now I know how to deal with this.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I mean, to be able to walk again is incredible.
That is
I mean, I'm
awesome.
making us sound out like we were old cripples, but seriously, I mean, little by little, and you just kind of live in a state of denial, because I've always been very athletic and healthy, and I just kept getting a little more and more depressed about what was happening to our bodies, thinking we're too young. I'm 58, and I
Yeah.
thought, I'm just too young to be having all these problems, but they were happening.
Yeah.
And so, it's-
And now I fit into a new wetsuit, so I can go back surfing again.
Oh, wow. You got to teach Mark how to surf.
Sure,
He managed to stand up and fall down.
that's all right. I mean, I haven't done it for 5 years, but
So you're an old surfer?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he's been talking every year
I
about
thought you got to go with him.
going surfing, so this is going to be fun. He actually just went out and bought a new wetsuit.
Oh, wow.
He said he's got a longboard in the back, and he says, I'm going surfing now.
And the incredible thing is also, I've been going to the gym, and normally I do 40 minutes
Yeah.
of slider, but
Yeah.
every 5 minutes I'll take a breathe. But now I go for 40 minutes, not stopping. And my heartbeat is up to, 130, something like that.
Yeah.
And I feel great.
Yeah.
Well, what's incredible, too, is that Jim had a pretty severe stroke 4 years ago
Yeah.
that affected his speech and his language skills. And so that's really changed our life. And so we also realize that it's very important for him to eat right to avoid the stroke. But he even went off all his stroke medication, and he's doing great.
I think the other thing, I was took somebody to a healing room, and a man was 80 something, and he'd had 3 strokes, and he'd had diabetes and all this stuff, and I watched him eat, and I went, oh my gosh, I was watching eating different kind of food and all that stuff, and eating sausage and eggs and bread, and I'm going, oh my God. And I realized I want to be back. I want to be around when Jesus comes.
Yeah.
I don't want to hang around. I want to be with him. I
Yeah.
don't want to be in a bed dying.
Yeah.
So it was kind of an eye opener for me. And
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'm online, God. I want to be your man.
That is awesome. That is
So
amazing.
that's our story. Anything
Well, it's a
else?
wonderful story.